Hi lovelies, welcome back to another video. I am so happy that you are returning, and if you are new here then welcome. My name's Naomi and I'm so happy to meet you. Just before we get into the video, I would like to let you all know that throughout this video I will be announcing the winner of the 1000 subscriber giveaway, so make sure you keep tuned for that. Also, because I am a shit YouTuber and I forgot to do a question of the day in my last video, there will be 2 question of the days in this one. So 2 shout outs, so make sure you keep it on tune for that. Right, so today's video is very different, however I feel like it needs addressing because I am fully aware that a lot of my audience on YouTube are younger girls and that message me on Instagram, and I absolutely love hearing from each and every one of yous, and some of the messages that I get through really touch me because it just comes across that they've got no confidence in themselves, and they ask me, how are you so confident? And it's heartbreaking, it really is. So like I say, today's video is very different to what's usually on my channel, but I think it's really necessary. The video that I'm going to be sharing with you, as you can probably tell by the title, is 10 things I wish I knew when I was younger. I'm 25 at the minute, and if I'd have knew these things when I was younger, then it might, I don't know, I'm just trying to help yous. I really feel for yous because being a young, like, teenage girl now is so much more difficult than when I was a teenager. You know, we didn't have all these amazing filters and Instagram and everything like that, and there's so much hype that you've all got to live up to, and it's just totally unrealistic. So I'm just going to jump straight into this video and I'm just going to list 10 things that I wish that I knew when I was younger. So the first one is a bit of a joke, you know, but it is really important, and that is stay at home as long as you possibly can, because mortgages and renting and all of your bills are expensive, really expensive. You know, as much as I love living with Matt, there's times when I think, oh, wouldn't it just be easier to live at home again and have your mum do the majority of your washing and only have to worry about, like, what you were having for tea that night if your mum was cooking something that you didn't like. And honestly, stay at home as long as you can. The next thing that I wish I knew when I was younger would be, don't worry about trivial things. It doesn't matter whether you have got the most amazing designer bags and designer everything, or, you know, they're just trivial things. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't make you a better person. There'll be people in your school, there'll be people who are your friends who might have a designer bag, but your mum and dad can't afford that designer bag. That doesn't mean that you should worry about that. That, to me, it's trivial, and because I've grown up, I know how trivial these things are. It's absurd. You don't need these designer clothing. Do you know, all of my, I don't think I've got one thing that's designer. I lie. Matt bought me some real Ugg boots for Christmas, but that's it. Everything else is, you know, Asda, George, or New Look in the sale, Primark. Honestly, trivial things don't matter, and when you get older, you'll realise it's so much. The next thing that I would like to talk about is don't care what other people think of you. And you know, at 25, I still struggle with this. It's an ongoing process, but I just think that if you're nice to people and you treat people the way that you would like to be treated, then shouldn't worry about what other people think of you. If you know in your heart that you're a nice person, it shouldn't bother you. And I know that's easier said than done, because like I say, I still struggle with it, but it's so important, and I'm trying each and every day not to let other people's opinions affect me. And then linking on with that, don't compare yourself to others. Just because your friend is doing amazing in her maths lesson, for example, doesn't mean that you should be doing the exact same. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about maths, but what I'm saying is don't compare yourself. Your brain will interpret things differently to what her brain will or his brain will. Everyone's different and everyone learns differently. And I'd also like to just say, for my fifth little thing that I wish I knew, school isn't the be all and end all. I'm not saying, you know, bunk school off and all of that. What I'm saying is, you know, I left school with a C grade in maths and a C grade in English, and that was it, pretty much. And it wasn't because I was a bad kid. I just learnt differently to the way the teachers wanted me to learn. And luckily I was supported by my mum, and you know, she pushed me to do well for myself, but not to do well for the school, for their markings, if that makes sense. And now I'm at university. You know, I'm not saying don't do well at school. What I'm saying is there's other alternatives for the way that your brain can learn, to the way that school thinks your brain should learn. I absolutely wished that I knew this when I was younger, because I constantly used to compare myself to my friends. But it's okay not to know certain things. It's okay if you don't understand a question. It's okay to ask and say, you know, I'm not quite sure on that one. Can you give me it in a different explanation? And because I'm at university now and I'm on placement and I'm getting like information left, right and centre, you know, there's some things that I don't understand, and I am the first person to say, you know, sorry, I don't understand that. Is there any other way that you can explain that's like that for me? And then we'll come out with a lesson and two other people come up to me and say, oh, I'm so glad you asked that question, because I was thinking it as well, but I didn't want to sound daft. Honestly, if you don't understand something, just ask. I guarantee there will be another person at least who doesn't understand it as well. It's not just you. The next thing that I want to discuss is quite personal, and I mentioned this in my 2019 goals, but I've got a very unhealthy relationship with food. I'm very aware of that. I am a very all or nothing person, and I think it's my personality. You know, people can have an addictive personality. So when I was younger, I was either very healthy or completely unhealthy. There was no in between, and I wish that I knew that it was okay to have a chocolate bar or a small bag of chips every now and again. And I think that if I knew that when I was younger, I wouldn't have an unhealthy relationship with food now, and I'd be able to keep the weight off more, because I can lose weight. Losing weight isn't a problem. It's keeping the weight off that I struggle with. And I think that when you're younger, you're very image conscious, and I was exactly the same. I know it doesn't look like it now, but I was very slim in school, because I was so conscious of gaining weight that I wouldn't allow myself that chocolate bar, or I wouldn't allow myself that bag of chips. I was constantly strict healthy food, and it's only now that I realise, because I was so strict when I was younger, that it's affected me now, because I'm kind of eating the chocolate bar now. Whereas if I'd have just had, you know, a healthy diet or healthy lifestyle when I was younger, it might not have affected me as much now, if that makes any sense. This one is really, you hear it, my mum used to say it to me, and I used to think, what are you on about? But it really, you know, it's really true, and that is that life goes so quickly, so make every moment count. And, you know, I'm not saying that to preach at you or whatever, but it really does. So, you know, make each moment count. And just to link on to that, make memories. I wish that when I was younger, me and my friends used to take loads and loads of photos, but out of 30 photos that we'd take in one night, we'd end up with 3. And not because like the lighting was bad or we were all moving or whatever, it was just because it wasn't the right angle, and we didn't like the way that we looked in it, or, you know, things like that. So if I could give advice to my younger self, it would be to keep all of them photos. They are memories, and just because they're not Instagram worthy doesn't mean that they're not memories, so keep them. And last but not least, I want every single person to know this, that everyone is totally winging life. Nobody knows like what the hell they are doing. Some people have plans, some people have focuses that they want to focus on, and that is absolutely amazing. And, you know, I've got a focus, I want to become a nurse, but I don't have a clue about life, really. Every single person is winging life, and it's okay not to know everything. So, with all of that deep stuff being said, I would like to announce that the winner of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway is Emma YT. I'm not sure whether I've pronounced that right, but yeah, that is the winner of the giveaway, Emma YT. I will also be leaving it in the comments. I will pin it to the top of the comments down below. If you could get in touch with me via one of my social medias or my email address, which are all in the description below, and I will send them packages to you. So the first shout out goes to Kelsey Sullivan, who left the hashtag of question of the day, when did you start getting into makeup? And I still personally don't think that I am into makeup. I like wearing makeup. I can't say that I enjoy being creative with makeup. Sorry, my voice has just gone. Because I'm not the best at makeup, but I started wearing makeup when I was, I think I was about 12 or 13, when I was in secondary school. So yeah. And the second shout out goes to Chelsea Barnes, who left the question with the hashtag question of the day. Do you have Snapchat, and what are you mainly active on and why? No, I don't have Snapchat. I used to have Snapchat, and then it changed all of its features, and all of a sudden it started like placing you places, and it freaked me out. So I know you can turn it on like ghost mode, but I just deleted it as soon as I seen it, so it panicked me. So I don't have Snapchat, and the social media that I'm most active on is Instagram, and that is probably the best platform that I use to talk to all of you guys on as well. So if you're not following me on Instagram, then the link is in the description box. So give me a follow and send me a message. I love hearing from yous. So yeah, my most active social media would be Instagram. I'm really trying to be active on there, and you know, uploading quite regularly, and I always do like polls and stuff on my story, so there's always opportunities for you guys to get involved on there. So yeah, those are the 2 questions of the day, and they were from Kelsey Sullivan and Chelsea Barnes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it's helped you love yourself more. I know that sounds really cliche, but I really hope it has, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra!